What's going on, guys? It's Army. Today we're going to be recording my VALORANT settings. I'm an Immortal Radiant player, and I'm going to show my settings to who wants or needs, and we're going to get right into it. With enemy highlight color, I use yellow Deuteranopia. I like using this because for me at least, I can see the enemies a lot better. It's a lot more clear for me. Onto my mouse settings, my mouse sensitivity. I play on 0.3 with a 400 DPI mouse sensitivity. For my scope, I play 0.55. And invert mouse is off. Route input buffer is on. This is just preference for who likes or does not like. You will have to try this out for yourself. If you wanted to turn it on, you could try it out. If you don't like it, turn it off. This is just how I play with it on. I don't mess with the map settings that much. This is just what I found the best I play with. It really doesn't bother me, to be honest. I don't really have the problem of looking at my map that much. So this is just what I play with. Here are the other settings. For general, play with the right hand. And everything else is just all this is just preference, to be honest. All this, the general settings in general, is just preference and what you like. This is just what I play with. Yeah, onto the controls. For ability 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3 are default, but the ultimate is V. I change it from X to V. I just find V a lot easier for me to click and a lot more comfortable. It's my movement settings. Left shift. My jump and my crouch are probably the weirdest binds here, but these are what I like to play with just from like CS experience. This is how I played in CS, and I found a lot more comfortable playing, so I just carried on using these settings. Crouch, spacebar to crouch was also one of my CS settings that I used. It was recommended to me by a friend, and I just stuck with it ever since. I thought it was a lot comfortable for me, because I felt like left control was just not like, it was not the keybind for me. I don't know what it was, but my pinky would just hurt, and I couldn't use left control. These are my keybinds. Equipment, my ADS is on hold, my sniper ADS is on toggle, my operator zoom is on cycle. I reload with R. My primary weapon, I take it out with my thumb mouse button 2. Secondary weapon is with 3. And melee weapon is with my regular thumb mouse button, my first one. I equip the spike with 4. I drop things with G. My interaction, I inspect with left control, I interact with things with F. Planner reviews with 4, spray with my middle mouse button. Communication and interface are just all preference as well, but I will scroll through it to show you guys what I use. I don't touch these settings much, so I don't think I've ever touched them, so this is what I use. It's just all default, or it should be at least. My crosshair is that these settings. My crosshair settings, the color is on red, outlines are on, outline opacity is all the way up, everything else is off in here. My inner lines is 1, 1, 1, 3. Movement error is off, firing error is off, and outer lines are off. Aim down sights is just copied from this crosshair. And my sniper scope is red, center dot on, center dot opacity all the way up, and center dot thickness 1.116. I like my center dot to be a little bit thicker than the default one, but this is just preference, so you'd have to go and see what you like. If I'm not feeling crosser number 1, which is this one, I'll switch to crosser number 2. It's everything, it's all the same besides the outlines is off, everything else is off in this category. And instead of 113, it's 1222. And same thing for the other one, movement error is off, firing error is off, outer lens are off. And same thing for aimed off sights and the sniper scope. It's all the same. My video settings, I play 1280 by 1024. This is just what I find more comfortable and how I play better. This is just what I experience with many resolutions, and this is just what I find best for me, at least. I play on a 240Hz monitor, so I have around 230 FPS, 240 FPS if I'm on a good day, no FPS drops. I play with NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency on. When I play with on plus boost, I feel like I play a little bit bad. I just feel like it's a lot more faster for me, and I'm not used to it, so I just play on. My graphics quality, this is just based off my PC and how I like the game, how it looks, how it feels. I have a mid-tier PC, so I play on medium or low, medium, Visionet on, VSync off, anti-aliasing none, anti-trophic filtering 1x, improved clarity. I play with it off most of the time. I actually cycle this setting on and off. That's just my preference. These are my preference for my PC and my preference for how I like the game to look and how I like the game to feel. Stats is just so you can like see what's happening with your PC with the game, if there's any problems that you can figure out with like your packet loss, your network, and just like this is just what you measure for your settings. See if there's anything wrong. Audio settings, this is my audio settings. I don't really like to have my game too loud, but I don't like to have it too low, so I keep it like this. I like to keep everything leveled, at least almost leveled. That's just my preference, how I like to hear my game. These are default, these 3 settings. I never touched them. So yeah. Enable HRTF is when, if you have it enabled, if someone's shooting to your left, you will hear it in your left earmuff, your left earbud, or whatever you're using. Personally, I do not like this setting. It throws me off when I play the game. This is something you would have to try out yourself and see if you like it. Voice chat settings, I have a 1820 USB microphone and a Steer-Series headset. This is my settings for my voice chat. I don't think I've ever touched these settings for the voiceover. And that is going to conclude my settings video.